Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be, salty, can be so bitter, can be, basically acidic, can be, or alkaline. But at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi.
Hello. So today we're talking Life After Lockup Season 4, Episode 45, Blinded and Divided. Woo! So what do you think of this
hmm
overall? Like, your overall thoughts of
Let me,
this?
I haven't even thought about that question, but now that you ask it, Wah, I will tell you, I hate it. No, I don't like this. I didn't like this episode. I didn't like this episode at all. It feels like I am being taken for a fool, and I feel like I'm staged, contrived, bad scenes I have to watch done by people who are not actors and not even trying to be actors. They're just lovely, normal peeps, some peeps, and half of them in prison for, like that I have to watch do scene work. And I'll tell you, the best ones are usually the people that have been in prison. The worst actors are the people that haven't been in prison, which is across the board.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think is acting?
Okay. Sean.
Oh, okay. You thought that was acting.
Like,
Okay.
oh yeah, his like harumph and like hitting the
I'm a good.
swinging bench,
Yeah.
where it's like, what are you gonna just knock over that? You, by the way, you can't even knock over that like Costco made, God bless, and it's not really in the ground that much by just like two little nails kind of bench. I mean, with your wife slash baby mama sitting on it, like he's, and but I did like that scene for how many times he said, "Do I just disgust you?" If we were to let's just be honest. If we were to, obviously we just start with them now because we're basically into them. That's how our transitions work, which is if transitions come naturally, we just go with it. Like, do I disgust you? Is just, yes, a little bit, LOL. But so here it is. Here I'm like, have so many shows we talk about, and I don't know why I can't just like do different overlay folders to make my life easy, but that's not the way it works. Where are they? Let's talk about Sean and Sarah.
Okay. Jumping right into Sean and Sarah. Sorry, I forgot my laptop is precariously perched upon three different books in order to get this angle. So I touched it in the wrong spot. Okay. So we first start off with Sarah, quote, having a little fun. And she's blowing up, she's putting water balloons, she's putting water in water balloons to put in a, I guess, size D or C cup bra so that she can see what it's gonna feel like. I don't know. Do you think that your breast feels like water balloons? Do you think that's an
You know
equitable
what?
measurement?
To me, my boobs feel like 100% down, goose down pillows, not the feathers,
Oh,
the down.
okay.
Because the
So
feathers
they're
poke you.
light and like they're light.
Heavy, heavy, heavy pillows of goose, the
Okay.
finest Lebanese goose down.
Okay.
Okay,
Those
you
Lebanese
know,
geese. Those, I
yeah,
mean, they're
yeah, they get
beautiful.
around, they fly around. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are, they're curvy. I don't have to say some curvy
Those,
geese.
yeah. Those.
Yeah, no, they just keep growing my boobs. Like I feel like I'll be like 90 and they'll just be like, Z cups. Like I feel like, at some part, your whole body stops growing except for your hair, and for some reason, my boobs. My boobs have grown every year. I don't know what to tell you.
Really? That okay, well, we just must talk about the white glove now. We must talk about the white glove in the room. If you guys are not watching this, like the Patreons for $10 a month, you wouldn't know that Chris just took a drink of some type of water that has some electrolytes in it. So it's like in a regular like Kirkland or Arrowhead glass, but then it's like bright pink. So she's put some kind of hydration powder in this water, and then she's also holding it up with a white glove on her hand. So
Mhm.
we have to talk about the white glove in the room. What the hell
As
do
you
you
know, I've
have that
always
white
been
glove?
big Michael Jackson fan. Anyone know about me? One thing about me, I'm a rapper and I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. And but no, truly, I suffer from eczema. If anyone wants to sponsor me in this, I will tell you. So I resort to living my southern genteel whatever like life where I have white gloves, maybe a handkerchief, and but underneath that white glove I have to like smear cortisone cream as my hand is inflamed. What a beautiful, fun fact about Chris Farah.
Oh,
Any eczema people in the house? You know, ho ho ho. You know.
yeah. I mean, I want to talk more about your inflamed hand, but I think we should move on. So
No.
she's having fun, and he comes and ruins it, y'all. He comes in and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Let's make boom boom," as David and Annie would say. And she's like, "No, I was having fun. Now you've like changed the mood." And he's like, "The kids are asleep. Come on, let's get a little something in." And she said no. And I was like, in that moment, hearing a man say that, I was like, oh, yes, I would like to have sex. And she didn't want to, and she had a full man there. And I was like, oh, you don't like him anymore.
You know what? Yeah. They have gone back and forth denying each other, you know, or like not paying attention. It feels like some weird game. It also feels like a bad scene that I've watched over and over again, just like throughout the season, that I don't know how long I'm going to watch. But I will say this. Yeah, she, you know, she's like, oh, nothing's wrong. And I just think I'm like tired. Plus, we were like, you ruined the mood. And I didn't know how to deal with it because we were just like playing and having fun. And suddenly just want to like bone. He was like, no, the playing and have fun is the foreplay. Like that should have turned you on. And she was like, oh, you know, like doesn't want any part of it. He's just like, yeah, he feels less than a man. And he just like, was there someone else? Is he just, you know, he starts asking her the questions like, no, no.
Yeah. Let me set the scene for you guys. We're in a room that for the first time of filming, it's actually lit. And so we get to clearly see this bed frame, this headboard. It is like what someone thinks that a gothic vampire would own. It is a black velvet, like cushioned bed frame with mirrors around the perimeter of the headboard. Black sheets, and then she's got like a matching bureau on her side that has in block letters love, and then pictures of like various family members, including Sean. And
can I say something? I feel like also it so reminds me of like Kevin from Kevin, you know, of Kevin of the same show we're watching, who's not on the season. We wish we was, because his house was all black and red too. While like there is something about that black and red aesthetic. To me, it screams that you watched Buffy in the 90s and you were a fan of Angel. Anyway, maybe if Kevin and fucking Sarah were both Buffy and Angel fans together, or if they shop together, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, go on.
I'm leaving space for an ad. I just did it. 7:40, so I can put it in. Great. So now that we're back from our ad, hello listeners. So I was a fan of Angel. In fact, I vividly remember the episode when Buffy and Angel, I'm not Angel, not Spike. Yes, yeah. When Buffy and Spike fucked and the house just fell down around them. They were in like a basement or something, and I'm like, how is this on primetime television in like 98? He just like has her up against a pillar and it's just like going at it while this house is burning down around them. And that is a fantasy. That is a great one. Where like, so when you said that, I was like, that would be hot, except for these two are not, except for Kevin. Kevin can be my son.
I was like, you love Kevin. Also, yeah, I'm like a pyro. So like truly that does sound kind of, I would love to, I like the idea of just like a fireplace in general, but I like the idea of like somehow fucking in a fire circle or something. Like the people.
Wow, that sounds very ritualistic, Catholic girl.
I know. What? Sounds great. Okay.
So anyways, back to her. She's like, I don't want to do it. I'm going to go smoke. You can come with me. And he's like, I don't want to go outside and smoke. And blah, blah. So then we find out she smokes. I'm like, with a mother like that, you have to smoke, right? Looking at that face. So then she goes outside to smoke. And he's just like, I know the signs because I'm a big fat ass cheater. So like, I know the signs. Like, well, you don't even love me anymore, Sarah. You don't even want to do anything with me anymore. You don't even like, I know the signs, man. Like, you're always at your mom's house and like, blah, blah, blah. And so she's like,
I'm Dad, it's really good. Well, it's really, I don't want to say how good that was not bad.
Thank you. Can't wait till we get to Marcelino. I mean, Brittany, I'm doing all that I can to survive in this family. I don't really like Florida. So anyways, so he does that. And she's like, let me tell you about it. Let me tell you. She says something very colloquial in that moment. I love it when I hear like people's colloquial statements. Somebody else did it too. I'm gonna start writing them down because I think it's so great. Because I have colloquial statements that I'll say and people make fun of me, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. That's how me and my brother say it. Anyways, so she's like, let me tell you. And she's like, listen, Anthony's coming around because X, Y, and Z and yada, yada, yada. She explains the whole Anthony situation. We see pictures of Anthony playing with that Abby child. And he gets so upset. And he does not believe that she is not fucking him because she must be having sex with Anthony if she doesn't want to have sex with him in his mouth.
Also, he low-key knows that Anthony is more attractive than him.
Younger.
And more attractive than him.
Better body.
And more attractive than him. You know, I mean, it's my opinion. And I made a podcast to give opinions. And whether this is a bad idea or a good idea, the future isn't yet to be known. But he's not for me. But he's, God bless.
For those of you guys in that moment who were so angry that you almost ran your car into the divider about her saying that Anthony is better looking than Sean, that's who that explanation was for. You immediately were like, that's my opinion. I have a podcast so that I can give my opinion.
Well, because it's like, who asked for my opinion about me giving, who's attractive over others?
We did, Chris.
And I'll tell you, 2 people did. And that's why I made this podcast. And the 2 people want what the 2 people want.
Yes.
There's a song from Title of the Show that it's like, I'd rather be 11 people's favorite thing than like someone like 1,000 people's like 11th favorite thing, which something like that. You know what? You talk and I'll find it.
Great. That was a great explanation of that. But also, like, for those of you who are ever like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that person's ugly. Well, then, I would say, like, don't subscribe to us, but we're too young in the game for me to say that. So continue to subscribe to us. Anyways, so he gets so upset. He's like, man, Sarah, I can't believe you do that to me, Sarah. And then he like stomps around. He like hits the little swingy thing that she's on. And then he's like, man, don't just follow me. Don't follow me, man. I'm going to quit this whole thing. I can't believe it's because you don't want me. You're doing with him. Oh, blah, blah. And it was just like, girl, shut up. And so she's like, it's not even like that. Sean, calm down. It's not even like that. She's crying. And I believe it. I believe it. I suspend my disbelief when I watch any of these shows because I want it all to be true because obviously it's a reality show. Chris doesn't think it's true, but that's fine. Okay. Let's move on to our next couple and let's move on to Eris and Cameron because it's another stupid like, okay, you're upset because you did this thing. And then we're all like, why are you upset? So
I love you.
So in this, we start and he's in the studio. That's what I remember. The first thing I remember. I see your note here. She wants a job and he doesn't need to cause. He has money saved, so he's booked studio time. Yeah. She's at the house and she keeps calling him and he's not responding. So she then has her homegirl come over and take care of the baby while she goes on an absolute wine bender rampage and calls this man 11 times. And he doesn't answer. The whole time he's in the studio like, yeah, seeing you through my Cartier lens. Yeah, baby. He's doing all of that. And he's just continuously rejecting her phone calls. And I'm like, dude, you're looking on it and you're seeing that he's there and you're rejecting it. It's just wild.
Yeah, especially because Apple makes it so easy for you to like literally like as someone calls, be like, can't talk right now. Can I call you back? Like you just push a button, like can't talk right now. Can I call you back? Like call you in an hour in a meeting, on the phone, a billion things to say, and then put your phone on do not disturb. But I mean, what's not the thing to do is ruin all your tracks because your fucking phone's blowing everything. Like if I was that producer, I'd be like, put your phone on fucking silent. But I guess there's a camera crew here, and so the other things are happening. Okay. And also B, yeah, like maybe we should use the phone because like it's calling so much and ruining so many of these takes. But yeah, like he could have made his life easier, but he made his life harder. But at the same time, did the producers catch Cameron doing his thing on the mic a couple of times? And here's the thing, as a professional rapper, I will tell you, he's not bad. No, I listen, I don't mind it. I mean, can I be honest right
Please.
now, because I have a podcast, so I can give my
Please.
opinions.
Please.
If you were to tell me, like, if there was a cipher or like a rap battle, I go to those all the time because I'm like, a very good rapper. If you had Montana Mills versus Cameron, I kind of feel like I like Cameron's flow a little bit more. But I think it's because I'm like a Luda fan. So if you can like do certain things, if you give me personality like that, and if you can like enunciate and give me like really hard hitting, sometimes I don't know, with a little southern thing, like it just hits a spot in me. What? Wah?
No, it was just being dramatic for the Patreons.
Oh, great. But you know why? Because like I thought you were just like also being like, this person's bananas, and I'm using a big reaction to be like how wild your opinions are. But maybe you're also being like, yes, I believe you. You're right. I don't know.
I'm yes-anding. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my best. I'm like supporting it. I'm giving you action shots.
Are you referencing our newest ad?
Yes, Spotify for podcasters. I listen. I want you to lean into the jokes where you talk about being the thing that you're not. So, like I am a rapper. I love it. Anyways, so yeah, Chris loves a Ludacris, and one time she even told me that she was Lil Wayne's biggest fan, and then I like started to tell her about the songs that I like from Lil Wayne, and she was like, okay, maybe I'm not his biggest fan. Anyways, I just feel like I don't think that Cameron will win over Montana Mills. I think that Montana Mills will be serious and Cameron would be jumping around like a little Smurf troll, And then I think that's what he would do. He'd be with the antics, whereas Montana Mills couldn't like have that much energy. He'd be like jumping around on stage with his tongue out. He'd be like taking his penis out and doing things with it and whipping it around. Like it would be a whole entire show. But let me tell you who's not interested in. Okay. Go ahead.
If you think they had to like improv rap battle each other, I think Cameron's a little quicker.
Okay, I will. Yes, I will acquiesce, and that is correct. I would agree with that. You know who's not interested in listening to his fucking raps right now? Eris. That man gets home and he acts like him ignoring her phone calls was okay, and that she should just calm down. And she's like, "Did you get a job?" And he's like, "No, it's been 3 days." And she's like, "Well, I need fucking help." I'm like, "It's been 3 days. You just had that meal on the beach, and now you're upset with him getting a job, baby. He's not going to get a job for at least a month. I mean, that's at the earliest. First, he has to figure out how to apply. How do you even apply to jobs these days? When I was young, I remember walking into Hollister and getting like an application and filling it out. I mean, my friend worked there, so I knew I was going to get the job. But the other jobs, like Starbucks, when I applied for Starbucks and I had to do it online, I was like flabbergasted. I was like, ugh. And Starbucks was like my first job was at Burlington Coat Factory. I walked in and got a paper application and filled it out and turned it in. And then I had various college jobs. And then I got Starbucks and that was online. So, I mean, this person needs to get a computer.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, well, you need a resume, honey. You need to put together a resume. Listen, yes, you get the jobs by either who you know, but also filling applications. But I know you're saying like shake your head, but it'd be nice if this person had like at least something on paper that just says, because the first part, like if someone's first resume, like there's a whole part that's like goal or mission or like to get a job that marries my love of blobbity blue with bloobity bloops.
You're talking about an absolute like a true resume. I don't think that man's going to get a job where he has to do anything but fill out an application. Like a resume is for a gig, it's for a different type of gig.
Yeah, like, okay, I get what you're saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if like people ask for, who knows, listen, I'm just saying, if he's on the job hunt and if for any reason he could muster together something in a little like tippity type in a, Google Doc way for free on, the website, I'm just saying, and there's a resume template, it might behoove. Listen, I'm not a job coach.
I know, I am. Let me just tell you, I'm HR. Let me tell you how it works. You're like, no, girl, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I know what I'm talking about. Um, no, applications are two types. You fill it out online and instead of the physical paper of application, or you have a resume. Sometimes it's like this both type thing, because they need your version of it and then their version of it in their records. But yeah, no, I don't imagine he's going to get a type of job that requires a resume. And also, the truth is, you're correct. He has nothing to put on that resume because that man has never had a job. So he's going to have to be creative and write things that he has done for fake companies. Like if you're somebody who's organized, like let's say it's a house mom and you've never had a job, you put that you are a project manager, because basically running a home is being a project manager. If you are successful at getting your kids up on time every day, getting your work done every day, you're successful at ticking off your to-do list, those are very valuable skills, and you can turn that into a skill set to put on a resume. However, if you don't have that skill set, if you have been in and out of prison, if you flew with 30 pounds of weed in a suitcase, then there's like, you can say you're a business person and you've done X amount or whatever, but he's obviously not organized. He's obviously not somebody who understands time or anyone else's time. Like, he doesn't respect his wife. So like, what are his skills besides yapping?
You're absolutely right. I mean, listen, if I was him and if I was his job coach, I'd be like, you know what? Can you get a job, or do you have any interest in producing music? It's like, if you want free studio time, can you get a job doing the slowest man common denominator thing at that studio and work your way up? Only because if you could ascertain music production skills, that would only also enhance his own dreams. So it's like, now, and also I guess in my mind, it's like, do you have any networking there? Even the guy you're fucking paying to be like, hey, low key, like, is there anything I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, it's about like, that would be probably the safest bet. But weirdly enough, I haven't applied to be his, because I have to fill out my resume, his personal work coach. Okay, so any else about them, babe?
No, let's move. They got in a fight. She kicked him out. He was like, be careful how you talk to me. And she's like, I could talk to you any kind of way. I pay these motherfucking bills. And we all agreed. Moving on.
Yeah. He was like, you're going to see, like, he's like, you're going to see the back of my head. And she's like,
and you're going to see
the top of your head most of the time. So
yeah.
It's like just a different, yeah.
She's also like, yeah, you said, say your joke again and I'll say my joke. Go.
He's like, you're going to, take it back, or you're going to see the back of my head. And she's like, well, I usually see the top of your head. So this is just a different angle.
And she was also like, yeah, you know what you're going to feel is my shoe on the back of your head as you walk away. So, all right, let's move on. Next couple that we're going to talk about, let's talk about a quick one. Puppy and Ams and Pups. Okay. Oh, you guys, Puppy can drive a stick shift. And I'm jealous. Mm-hmm. She got into that man's car and she was just handling that stick as she's arguing with him and trying to get him to say the thing that he's not going to say. I don't know, you say it. Well, I don't know what's going on. I'm fine. You say it. And I was just like, this is annoying. And then he's like, I'm tired of being disrespected. And we and her and she, we're all so confused. We're like, you are disrespected? Who the fuck disrespects you? And Puppy's like, who disrespects you? It sure ain't me. And we agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you, because I was having a cigarette with my mom and you made us leave mid fucking cigarette, which is crazy. My mom basically makes no money. And as you're telling me this, you're basically passed out in the car. I mean, like, half the time I'm like, are you going to finish this fucking sentence? Or you're going to disrespect the sentence you started? I mean, what? I mean, this man is asleep. Okay, so like yeah,
we gotta go, kiddo. It's time to go. Sun's going down. We're gonna turn into pumpkins or some shit. And she's like, well, I guess I gotta go. So she's pissed off about that because he just came out of nowhere. And then they're in the car, they're driving, and he's like, what did you and your mom talk about? And she's like, well, everything that's been happening. She's like, what exactly does that mean? She's like, you tell me what that means. So then she stops the car mid thoroughfare. I mean, they are fully in the middle of the street. Like this street is fancy too. There's planters in the center, traffic on the other side is just zooming by, and they have screeched to a halt. So producers even got that footage of them screeched to a halt behind them. Eric, she opens the car door like, fuck this, I'm getting out. She opens the car door. He opens the car door and then gets out of the vehicle, I guess, to like take control of his car. and she speeds off. It was the bossest move of a boss bitch moves of a boss bitch.
We wanted it. We were like cheering on. Like I feel like people stood up and cheered. Yeah, like we've seen this car peel out in so many ways. Like he's abused this whatever this. I don't. You know. I no car.
Mustang GT.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's always like zooming and vrooming all over the set, or set. I keep thinking this thing's all fake. All over the way. And so like to have it be done again, it's just like I think a callback and be a pattern, but I'm into it.
Did you hear that? That sounds like a vroom vroom behind you.
It was literally Puppy being like, yes, like, honey. Okay, so basically, next scene, she's in a truck. She calls Amber. She's like, meet me at my mom's house. Amber's like, doesn't ask one goddamn question. Like, right, got you.
Listen,
like, because they're best fucking friends, and that's what.
Yeah, that's the bitch you want. That's the bitch you want. That is the girl. That is, yes. As soon as that happened and she just got up and left, I said, that's what we need. That's what I need. That's what we need.
Yeah, of course. Just like, hey, I need you to go da-da-da. Got it.
I'm on it.
Or you might be like, are you okay? Just because there's like a,
No, I don't even. Don't ask me.
Yeah, but I actually think she did say that. And she was like, yeah, but I'll see you there. I think that's what she got. So then she pulls up to her mom's house, big ass black truck with all her shit in it or whatever. And she's wearing, by the way, like Burberry print joggers and like a black shirt that's inside out. So maybe there was like a logo on it, like the producers were like, take that off or whatever. And so her mom was like, hi. She's like, hey, I have like a whole bunch of stuff that's not gonna fit, but like, Amber's coming here. And then like Amber pulls up and like, everyone's so happy to see Amber. And then Amber's like, wow, like impromptu packing job. And Puppy's like, what? Amber's like, impromptu packing job, and like Puppy's like, what does impromptu mean? And we're like, oh babe,
yeah,
come on baby boo.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you don't know what impromptu is? Now here's the deal. I would have never thought it odd that Amber said it, because to me impromptu is like a thing that is said, but I can understand a space and a time and a world where people have like never heard that in my entire life. And she's like, bitch, it means just like throw shit in a van and get gone. And I'm like, that's not what it means, but it's fine.
Yeah. So, like she says she has more stuff at Eric's house, and then she sort of recounts like that he was like a nightmare and he like wanted to like throw all her stuff out, and but they didn't let her take it out, and blah bitty blue. And yeah, what we unfortunately never got to see, whether it's like exactly happened, is the moment in which Puppy's like, just so you fucking know, your ex-wife is on like told me, or no, your ex-wife got me on a 3-way call like you were all like mean girls in high school, and I heard you have an awkward conversation with her after you guys fucked about how like you both ghosted each other. I heard it with my own ears because I was on a 3-way call. And so I want to see like Eric wake up from his nap and hear that and affect him, and or, I mean, that man is in and out of whatever. Like it is wild that like truly someone who, I mean, allegedly my spirit says is going through in and out of like ecstasy and blissful drug induced hazes is on national television. But I mean, I guess people do it for, what's that show called, babe?
Naked and Afraid.
No,
Love is Blind.
They're like, no, kind of like when they're drug addicts and they like show it on TV because they're like going through it.
Investigate.
Yes.
No,
not interruption, not investigation.
Inception.
No.
Okay, we're almost there. Hoarders. No, not Hoarders.
No, it's like Hoarders because like
it's when intervention.
Yes, yeah, we did it. I love that. I love that we get everything and then the word Hoarders, which has nothing to do with no in there, honey. I go. The thing is, I couldn't watch that show. It was too scary. I can't watch it. I can't watch Euphoria because I can't watch people do drugs.
I can't watch Euphoria either because I don't like to see it in dramatization, because I'm like, this. I want a different story if it's going to be written. However, I will say that there's a part of me that feels like these stories need to be told, and I need to watch them and I need to talk about them because. Like the Jared situation, like you guys don't know, we did a Jared. Chris hates it. However, I think it's really informative to know that there are people out there who are animal. And if you don't know about it, then you could be susceptible to it, or those around you could be susceptible to it if you don't know it exists. And that's why I think stories like these are important. The same thing with intervention showed me a lot, because if I didn't watch that, then I wouldn't know what the other side of addiction looks like. Like, you know, you need to see it. To
Yeah.
me, I need to see it in that way in order to like know what to avoid. So hoarders, the same thing, Chris. Every time my house is dirty, I'm like, oh, it could be this. And not to say that I have some kind of mental illness, but like these people have mental illness, and then it just gets worse. I mean, I do have mental illness, so like it could happen. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
no,
saying.
I'm teetering on that all the time. So we know that. Okay, so
like,
you know, I'm 3 sheets to the wind in every category of mental illness at all times. But okay, so basically we're gonna see what happens with all our stuff. Let's move on to. Do you want to do? Let's do someone else that's like very small and I think dumb. Okay, even though I love them, Lindsay and Blaine.
I was gonna say Taylor and Chance.
I know, but that's it's like they're big. They're like kind of a big
I
deal, even though like nothing really
know.
happened. I feel like
Nothing
fine.
fucking
Okay,
happened.
Taylor. I mean, Lindsay and Blaine. So by the way, Instagram. I don't know if I. You know what? I gotta like actually post it to Docu Sweeties, which is Blaine just got a haircut and Lindsay, Instagrammed it. So he cut off that like Bieber thing in
Oh,
the
thank
front, like
God.
the bangs, and now he just has like a short situation, and it's kind of it kind of I like it because I think I like a little bit of a little receding hairline. You can kind of see some
Wait a
things
minute.
happening.
You like a little bit of a receding
Oh, I
hairline?
love I drool for it on
Okay,
the
can I
inside.
need you to take a picture of somebody who has it and show me exactly what you're talking about. Not now, but in the future. I just need you to randomly send me a picture of a man with a receding hairline so I know what you're talking about.
You know, or like yeah, you guys know it's like a like doo doo doo, you know, and it's like like a doo doo doo, where the temples are showing a little like receding right there,
Oh,
like
on
it
the
makes
temples. Okay, okay,
yeah,
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
temples, on the temple. Anyway, so I was gonna show you, and then I'll let you take it.
I love a faux hawk.
This is it. Wait, deep.
Oh, that is a receding hairline.
I know it. Okay, so basically, this is all staged. I feel like this is all staged, and I'm just seeing like two people doing a scene, honey, and it's like it's what it is.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. So we start off and they're somewhere together. I'm going to be honest with you. I was cooking while I was watching this. And all I hear is her saying, "What's up with your dad saying that we should get married? You want to get married?" And he's like, "I don't think I want to. You don't know that." And she's like, "Blaine, I mean, I just don't, I mean, I do want to marry him. I would marry Blaine in a heartbeat," she says in the confessionals. And then she starts to like take his clothes off. And he's like, "Me and dad take my pants all the way down. You can just ride me like this." And I was like, that is hot. Don't take, it was kind of like dirty when we were in our 20s when a guy would like, not take his pants off while having sex with me. I felt like a whore. However, now as an adult, if I could just like rip a man's pants off and I'm like, don't even take them all the way off, just lay back, babe, just ride you to home, I feel like it's a good thing. But she wanted all the clothes off. She wanted him naked. Okay. Nekkid. She wanted that man naked. And he was like, "Who do you gonna take all that off for?" And she was like, "What's this? Blaine? What's this? Blaine, what's this? When you get this, Blaine?" And he's like, "I'm on house arrest." And so then she has a mental meltdown. Now here's the truth. She did tell this motherfucker that she didn't want any more fucking secrets. She did say it. And he's like, "I used to be happy. Why are you getting upset?" She's like, "You made decisions without me. You made decisions about our future without me." And that's the problem I have. And to me, she is as clear as day explaining what her problem is. And he's the one who's choosing not to hear her. Chris?
She's not saying, this is the problem, I think. Lindsay's smarter than him. She's always has been. She always will be. She knows it. And so she wants to be like, whenever you make a major life decision, run it by me because I'm smarter than you. And especially if it affects me, because I don't trust you to make all the decisions. It's why I ran shit. Now you're great and I feel comfortable and safe with you, but I'm going to be very honest. I think that Blaine is a beautiful, safe option for Lindsay, but I think Lindsay ultimately is going to have to be with someone that can challenge her and that can be a little more, I think, mentally stimulating.
You say that, and I think you're saying that because you want her to have a lifestyle that would be good for her, as far as her finding someone who is closer to her equal. But I think that she is used to being in control, and that she most likely won't find a man in her part of Mississippi that's like that, what you described, and who would accept her past. And so therein lies the rub. Is you want that for her, as her being her pure her,
Friend.
right? Yes. As being her
As
friend.
her lifelong friend,
Yes.
we,
But
yeah.
like the thing is though, like, she only's got certain options right now. And I think that Blaine isn't terrible for her. I just think that he wants to like be this man who she can depend on, and she's like, no, you're not though. And I think
I
that,
know.
it sucks. So I see what you're saying. But I think Blaine is her best choice. Cause like I think Deontay would just I mean, like Deontay is real dumb, you know?
Oh no, Deontay, no, I forgot. But also, yeah, I mean, he for sure watched that sex scene. I felt bad for him. But this is the reason why I also think the sex scene's fake, babe, because it's like, what was she trying to do? Like, get this man absolutely naked on national television and ride him? No. Like, at some point, they know they got it. We all know what happens. We know she's gonna like have to get the cameras to leave, and then they're gonna like be. But she was just like naked now. She and her pants weren't even off. Like, so I guess whatever. And he wasn't even being weird. He was just like, oh, just whatever. And she was like, why are you being weird? And he could easily be like, I'm not being weird. I just want to, we're also being filmed. So, I don't know, just get him out first, babe, or whatever. And so I guess in my mind, it's like, wait, and also, did he think that he was never going to show his ankles to her? Like he's like some like hardcore, like Islamic woman walking the streets. Like his ankles were never going to be shown to her, not nary ever. Like, because one thing that we have like known about them is they work well together and they like to bone, like they fit, like that's the things we know, like, so they've been boning, like, so anyway, that's all I have to say about him. Having said that, it's not that I don't like Blaine and I want them to be together. It's I want the best for her at all times. She's my best.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, like her life choices has made it so that she's got slim pickings. Anyway, so she gets mad at him. That's in it, right? Moving on.
Yeah.
I'm getting saying my mind.
So pick someone else.
Taylor and Chance. I think that's it. That's what's left. Taylor and Chance.
Marcelino and Brittany.
Oh, forgot about them. Okay. Let's save Marcelino and Brittany to last.
Oh, you know a picture for them. Anyway, good.
Chance and Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the fire burning, and then the next day, or she's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be erasing text messages. So he's like, it's just Jessica. Jessica's my friend. And then he's like, listen, are you still mad about yesterday? Because I feel like you're holding resentment. I'm like, it just happened 12 hours ago, you idiot. Like, what do you mean is she still holding resentment? Yes, she's about to have your fucking baby, and she found that you have been text messaging some bitch named Jessica and deleting all of the text messages.
Yeah, and his like it's morning out, so he's like back in the house and he's just like trying to like make a big stink, like like making breakfast, like if nothing's ever happened. Like guys love pretending like nothing ever has happened, like if we're all men in the black, people, and like zooped our memories. Yeah, like his thing with that is like, yeah, it's because we would just text normal stuff, but it just like it'd always be a thing with her. So I thought it'd be easier if I deleted the like totally normal, totally chill text that like is basically nothing and super platonic things that are just like shouldn't be worrisome or not sketchy at all, like because she'd always ask. And so it's just it's circle talk, and it's it's illogical, but for some reason Taylor like really, I don't know, like she got herself in a pickle.
She got herself in a pickle, in a jar, in a fucking all kinds of things. I mean, this is the prime example of somebody who doesn't know their self-worth, has low self-esteem, and is just taking whatever life can throw at her. I mean, but she's still having more sex than me, so
yeah, so he's just in that bed, honey, drinking that Florida's Best OJ. She's doing her eyeliner and they're talking, and like They're obviously upset. He's like gaslighting her, you know, like he's just he's back and forth. It's really awkward to watch. It's unfortunate. And she basically is like, I just won't fight anymore because I'm pregnant again, like Wa said. And so then the next day it's like, today we're gonna have Mason. And it was just like, that. And for some reason, I wasn't tracking I was tracking the pregnancy over like what seemed like. Here's the thing: she's been pregnant for what it feels like 4 years. So it's been at least 3 seasons. I don't have to tell you, like, so suddenly it is the day, and I just wasn't actually prepped for it because I'm now always used to her being pregnant. Kind of like, remember in Family Guy, there was that one character that was always pregnant. It was like Joe's wife or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then they talk about, the babies are like, oh, they're like, remember Mason? And those babies are like, yeah, and they're like, oh, we're going to have that baby, they're like, well, how do you know you're having it? Well, it's like, well, we're going in, we're getting it done because you had an angel brother and blah blah blue, and we're like, oh, and so there's like the concept of that she has to get it done because she has a blood clotting issue and it can be troublesome. So now Chance is really proud of himself because he's gotten all the girls little presents, little toys. They're going to be at the grandma's house, but he wants them all to know that he still loves them and still cares about them, and he's always going to be all their daddies, even though he's about to have his own kid and he be their daddy. And he cries, honey, outside in multiple hoodies. Look how many hoodies this man is wearing. It's cold. He's wearing the gray. Okay, listen to this. He's wearing the gray one, right? The inside gray one. Well, there's a red shirt. There's an inside gray one. Outside the inside gray one, a black one. You can see it. Outside the black one, a blue one. You see that one too? It's Champion, maybe. So there's just, he's just like, I can't wait to hold that little boy in my.
He gets to have a do-over, 22 years later. This is it's a wild thing to know that one could have a child at 20 and then one could have a child at 40. It's just like this crazy span of life. Anyway, so we have a little scene where he talks about how he wants to put the kids to work. And Taylor's like, we can't make the kids work. He's like, no, if there are kids, we can make them work. I want them to fold laundry. I want them to do little things around the house because I'm an entrepreneur. And you know what we can do? We can also sell your breast milk. We can also sell your bathwater. And she's like, what? And he's like, it happens. People do it. And I'm like, the truth is you can. But what you really should do is just get like feetfinder.com or OnlyFans with just feet. Like that is the thing you need to do, Taylor. I mean, one man told me that if I'd kneeled and I just did had a thong on and you could see the bottoms of my feet and my butt, that those are winning pictures.
Wait. For the back. Okay, so
I'm gonna show you. Let me do it for you. Hold on. Let me Patreon. Okay, let me do it. Oop, there's my phone. Okay, put it on mute and I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So yeah, we talk about foot stuff a lot on this podcast. You've seen it. We mildly obsessed. Also because we have really great feet, and also I'm used to being worshipped. What is wearing like the kind of little pants you wear if you were like a cheerleader? It's like it's like a ballet unitard. No, you can't talk. Just get in your position. So yeah, this is she wants she has to. Okay, so she wants to show us that it is her butt. I'm guessing she doesn't have to. Oh, it's side butt. It's profile of butt and feet. And what she wants to show us is her feet, but it's like hard for her to get all of it in one way. Oh, she wants to be perched, like a little Bambi perch from the side. Is your face in it? Okay, she's trying so hard. I just can't believe this is happening. Okay, yeah. Now you're gonna have to come back and tell me obviously we can't see your face, but in the picture, do we see your face?
So look, no, the camera is, let me say my butt was towards you guys, right? So the camera's here.
No, what? Your butt's toward us?
Oh my God, I can't sit in this position too long. My legs are too thick at the moment. No, I was sitting on my heels.
Yeah, but you're at profile. Are you? Is the picture?
The picture is not profile. The picture is of my butt and the soles of my feet
from the back.
From the back.
And so, where does it cut off? Like your waist down?
Yes.
Or your
yes. Or not even. You don't even need to see my waist. It's just like butt and soles of feet
sitting on each other, like just butt feet.
Yes.
Butt feet.
Yeah, like when you sit on your heels.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, it's just
okay. Yes. So think of child's pose.
I just got it.
Child's pose with your knees together. Yes, child's pose with your knees together, and you're up.
Yeah, you're sitting up because it'll be cuter. Yeah, and you have your toes.
It's not about my face. It's not my face and my back. It's about My butt
Your
and my
butt.
toes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're not gonna see you're gonna see only the little tips of your toes.
I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to you because I feel like you have a very like
No,
zoomed
I
in
just
version of
got it.
what it
No, I
is.
got it. No, I got. Listen, I
Okay.
got it now. I got it now. Listen, now,
Okay.
listen. I think she take a
So,
picture and put
anyways,
on Patreon. I would that. You know
I'm
what if
not
one
gonna put
tier
it
of
on
our
Patreon.
Patreon was for feet? For feet. No, okay, we have to move on.
No, we
Okay,
don't. Let's delve
okay.
more into this OnlyFans that we're going to create. So it's just Chris and I sitting on our heels, feetsies out, souls apparent. No, let's move on. Okay, you're right. So anyways, he's trying to sell a bunch of stuff and it's like she's like, "What?" Like she's never heard of this shit. I'm like, "Girl, you live in the world where your sister is a drug addict. You know about a lot more shit than the rest of us."
Also, the
So,
Osmonds did and the Jacksons did. You can definitely pimp out your kids. You know, like that's what having kids are sometimes for. You know, if you can't have a
mhm,
baseball team, you can have an entertainment group.
it's to get to the next level. It's for generational wealth.
Did you catch? So at one point, she's like, "By the way, look at this cute onesie I got," and it says, "Today." No, I'm sorry. It says, "Did 9 months on the inside," which
Yeah,
is tongue in cheek. And then
it
knock,
is.
knock, knock.
Who's at the door? He runs to the door and he's like, "What the? I thought we got rid of you. I thought I killed you and sent you over to Arizona." It's Bobby who just like feverishly drove 18 to 24 hours, which is like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, which is like a freaking 6 hour difference. Like 18 to 24 is an entire other state. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does it take 18 to 24 hours to get somewhere? That like another 6 hours is like a full blown other state. Except for if you're in
Mm-hmm.
California, it takes like 11 hours to get out of California from Southern. Anyways, so it's Bobby. Bobby comes in the house and she isn't even let in. She literally just walks towards him and he has to move back to allow her in. He does not say, "Welcome in, Bobby." He's like, "What the F are you doing here?" And she goes in to see her sister and she's like, "I know I wasn't there for any of the other births, but I want to be here for you now." And she's so happy, but also like she knew Bobby was coming. Like that wasn't a surprise. Her reaction was too mild for it to actually be a surprise. The kids were really surprised. Chance is like, "Well, where the hell are you going to stay?" And she's like, "I'm going to stay somewhere near," meaning the garage. And she's like, "I want to be here for Mason." And she's like, "I got out of the relationship I was in." So this whole time she was in Arizona in a relationship and it only lasted 6 months.
That's why
Bobby's
she
still in that.
moved.
Yeah, Bobby's still in that shit. I thought she was going to Arizona to have a new lease on life and to be away from the shit.
I know, but when she shows up, Chance even says it. It's like, I don't know about her, honey, if that's sober or is she just real tired from that 18 to 24-hour drive, or is she just stoned? She just maybe like smoked a big joint, like that kind of just like I got here joint right outside the
Mm-hmm.
car, then whiffed in, like I don't know where they live. But basically also she looks, she has like her hair up and like behind her hair, she has like extra pins up. She doesn't look great. She has like she has now face tattoos, like kind of like Amanda Bynes style face tattoos. When I see those kind of face tattoos, like, those kind of like stars on the, on the cheeks, it does make me feel something. Okay. So,
It's a thing now. And so I've just learned to accept it that it's like that is that generational gap. Whereas there like generation before us was like, "Oh my God, you have a tattoo." And now everyone is fully tatted to nines. And now it's like tattoos on the face don't mean what they used to mean. It is like it is normal. Girls will have tattoos on their hairlines, like down here. It is just like a normal thing. So I've kind of just like been like, okay, this is what we do now, and it's fine. Yeah, Bobby doesn't look good. I mean, they look like some regular ass folk, you know?
mhm.
And it's like it's the kind of folk that I rarely get to see. Like because I'm like, you didn't even try to do anything for the camera. I mean, Amber doesn't wear no makeup, but her hair be done, her nails are done, her face is clean and clear. Like Puppy tries to put on makeup terribly, like with a shaky hand, but her hair is done. We see the
You're right.
effort, but Bobby just roll and Taylor too. They just be rolling out. They have them people in their house when their house looks an absolute mess. When that little girl had that folding chair or that like step stool in the living room and she's just climbing it, going nowhere, I said, "What the hell is happening here? It's a different world from where you come from, but a different world." Anyways, so they go
Yeah.
they go to the hospital and Bobby is there for maybe like I don't know 6 hours, and then she's like, "Okay, I gotta go. I thought that baby was coming. I can't sit up in the hospital." Reminds me of detoxing. And Chance gets upset. because he's like, what the fuck? Like, why would she do that? And I'm like, you know what? That's right. Bobby was trifling for that. Also, they have another sister, and how old is that sister? It was like Anna, her name, the older sister. I thought, like that sister was like, hmm.
Yeah, I don't, we don't know. Those are different life, that's a life, like, yeah. So I don't, so let me get this right. So she got the epidural, but she's still feeling things. Cause I feel like, why is she feeling things she doesn't want to feel? But I'm always scared shitless of childbirth. And so, the pain looks horrific, and she's already had kids. So when she starts to feel like she's going to get in pain, and it gets like, she like, starts going up the ladder, the number ladder, if you will, it's really like, I'm also just like such a weird empath. I get just anxiety. Like, it's already happened. She's fine. She already has a kid. I'm just like, oh my God, the pain. Oh my God, you're gonna go through it. I don't want to go through it.
I oddly want to go through it. I oddly would like to feel it's like the body does a lot of things, but giving birth is one of those things that's like crazy. Just because like it's like creating life or whatever, and then like it comes out. So I like want to feel it. And then I want to like decide. I know there's a point of no return with epidural. And I remember that point with my sister. So I got very upset with me while I was talking to her, and when she had like the last contraction before she couldn't take it anymore. And I was like telling her about something, and she was like, "Shut up!" And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I would like to know what that feels like, mainly because I would like to conquer it and tell everybody else that they're little bitches. But I also just want to feel it because I feel like it's a whole thing that's happening in life. And like, what's life if you don't feel things?
Oh, how poetic, at the same time, like, would you ever be a surrogate?
Yes. But I asked her to be a surrogate, and she said she would do it for me if I could just get one egg to fertilize, so she would do it for me. And I know that it was hard for her. Like, she don't want no more kids. So like that's
Oh, really?
the big thing. Like, she would do it for me. So I'm like, whoa, okay. Because I watched it. I watched it happen. I watched the baby happen. I watched him still. He's so cute, little cutie tootie. But yeah, I watched it happen, and I was grossed out. Her other friend was there, and I was like, whoa, whoa. And her other friend was like, it's okay. Yeah, I know. I saw my nephew being born too. And then my mom was just like right there to catch the baby.
Oh,
yeah, she was
funny.
so in it. I was like, got to be on the other side. She was like, oh, I want to cut the umbilical cord. Like, it was a whole thing for her. Mom was very excited about it.
Oh, I'm so happy for her. That seems like a full circle, obviously, moment.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, like, Chance is like trying to be supportive when he's not asleep. He's like petting her head. She's like, don't touch me. He's like, oh, does it hurt? Does it hurt? Squeeze my hand. She's like, no. He's like, squeeze my hand. She's like, I fucking said no. Whatever, like, on stream. But basically, like, like she, like, she's like, I barely don't want to move. I didn't want to grab your hands. I want to throw up all over you. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, he's just so. In these moments, though, I'm like, is he doing this just because the cameras are there? I feel like he's a nightmare all the time the cameras aren't there. And any good moments we ever see of him are because the cameras are there. I think that honestly, Taylor just got like messed up with someone who she thought was like mildly attractive, and maybe would like, got like was giving her all the attention because he was like, behind the bars. That's all I have to say about them.
Yeah, you're right. So let's move on to Marcelino and Brittany.
So welcome back, like, now they are in Florida. This is a lot of, I will say this. So it opens up at like, Brittany's driving a mom van, all her kids in. They're like, she's adjusted to like Florida life, she like loves it. She like goes to get a little workout on, takes the kids. Now, I don't know what kind of workout this, but I'll tell you, it's a place where there's a woman who's a yoga instructor / babysitter who will do yoga with your kids while you just get to do the laziest stepping I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Brittany's Reebok stepping, honey, with the energy of like, a retired, stripper on Ambien. You know what I'm saying? It's like barely moving. But she met this girl. The girl's name was like and wait, Anais. So I forgot how to say that. It's like Anais or
Anise,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that girl does her lashes, Brittany's lashes. So like that's how they became friends. You know, like I wonder when that girl like sat down, did she know Brittany was like a Brittany from Marcelino from the show, or did Brittany really just get to like meet someone organically and then just be like, oh my god, on my like third time with her, she's like, by the way, you know I'm on the show, and the girl was like, what, really? But they were already friends, so now they're real good friends. I don't know. Well,
I feel like maybe she did know Brittany from Brittany and Marcelina. I feel like if I know her, then like, and a lot of people know her. I feel like a lot of celebrities watch Love After Lockup. It's a very, very, very popular show. Like, it's not going away anytime soon. And I imagine Puppy gets recognized, Amber gets recognized, like they get recognized. The WeTV is like for very specific folk. Anyways, so her eyelashes are a little too much, you know? Like maybe they should be light brown, right?
oh no, just I think just less volume and kind
Okay.
of like maybe just the length of it, you know, like you know, but I can see what you're saying, like because she has that red hair, you think like that maybe, you
It's just like
know, m-
black.
m- I bet you there's a beautiful way to even do a mix of colors, you know, like why wouldn't you? You probably could do some black and some browns to really make it like soup snatch.
Yeah, I think you're
Um
right.
anyway, so then we cut honey to Wa's favorite, Marcelino, who, you know, listen, Florida life, you know, has, you know, treated him well. And I feel like, you know, he's gained some LBs and he looks a little diff. Well,
Yeah, he's like he goes to a bar and he's like, the person's like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Las Vegas." And he sits down and he orders like he's like, "I come in because I'm a little thirsty." And he sits down and he gets something to drink, not water, you know, something else to quench his
water.
thirst. And then he's sit next to Betty White, and Betty White's like, "Oh, I'm turning 80 today." And he's like, "Oh, well, I hope to be blessed to live that long." And you know, he's unhappy because he's in the middle of the day in like a Joe's Crab Shack sitting at the bar. Like it's just like that man's not happy. So we have the next scene where he's at the home and he's cooking or he's doing something domestic, and Brittany's like moving around with her like newly goodly dyed hair. It's like it's so many people have such bad dye jobs, and Brittany is at least consistent, and it's like always looking healthy, right? This thick and healthy locks.
She has great hair, and you know, I think, you know, the grass is always greener for me. Like there's something about when red hits a certain way on a certain someone, you know, where you're just like, "Ah, that looks good," you know, just like because it would never look that like that on me, you know, like, you know, just because tonally, yeah, like when red hits on someone and it pops, it's just such a cool looks, and it definitely Britney should always be it, you know, like, you know, and you know, I think that probably, you know, Lindsay should be a shade of red all the time too. I meant Lindsay Lohan, you know, but we're on a one name basis. She's my best friend.
Yeah, I truly think this is like she's given us like 3 tones plus a blonde. She gave us her natural like strawberry blonde when she first got out of prison. Then she came back with like a red, like she was a red, and then she did like a blonde. She came back as a blonde, and then she did like what she was last season was like almost like a true natch red. But then this season it's like a brunette red, and every time it's done well. She makes sure she goes to people who know how to do hair. She doesn't do anything fucking crazy like Sarah from Sarah and Sean. Like it's always a natural version of whatever. And then it looks so good in her confessionals. It's just like, or even in real life, it's like wavy. It's in a ponytail. It's like she is Samson, and that is her hair. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. She in her confessional look this season is hot as hell. You know,
Yeah.
like she looks really, really, really cute. She has like this like kind of orange tone lipstick that goes with the hair that is very beautiful. And I think she also wears it kind of in this picture. So basically, not to get ahead of ourselves, but let's just. So this is what happened. So back at the house, his mom comes over, and it's like, honey, abuela is here. She like makes, you know, she like makes all the children feel happy and loved, you know, which including, you know, I think Brittany's oldest child, who is not technically Marcelino's, but Marcelino, uh, you know, what's the word? Adopted him. So not only that, she's going to then make tacos. She's going to babysit, make tacos, be, you know, absolutely loving. And the couple are going to go have like a little date night. Now, Brittany's like, look, like I took off my ring and I told him that I'm not going to put it back on until he makes me feel like a wife, that he gets up and he chooses me every day, that I think that she wants to feel wanted or appreciated or valued or desired. Probably a version of all this, and who doesn't? So they go to this restaurant, or sorry, go to this bar. It's a restaurant. It's like a bar. They like eat something.
It's like a
know.
pool hall restaurant bar place. It's just like one of those
Yeah.
places where you live in the middle of nowhere, so they just put all the things in one place. It's like probably has arcades in there too, like a little bit. It's like a Dave and Buster's, but on a smaller scale. They also serve like onion rings and like fries and like burgers and like fish sticks and like chicken fish dips, so whatever those things are called, nuggets,
Chicken
whatever.
fish sticks,
Fingers,
yeah. The chicken fish sticks, yeah.
all those things. Also, like they leave the mama with 2 poopy diapers before she leaves. She's like, hey, they poopied, right? And mom's like, yeah, I know. So it's like Rebel and then Zoila. It's just like poopy because they're like a year apart. Like they fucked a lot.
Yeah, it's been 5 years. Oh, if you're gonna say that, she's like, so it's like 5 years since she got out. So they've been little rabbits that whole time, honey, little bunnies.
I can't believe it's
Easter
only been
bunnies.
5 years. Yeah, that's crazy. It's only been 5 years. I want it to be longer for her. I wonder how long Amber has been out. Maybe 3. I don't know.
Basically, so everything's going chill, and then they start playing pool, and like it's not staged at all, haha. Even there's always inventive camera angles, and she's really bad at it, and he's better at it, and he's like does that thing where he comes from behind, and they're kind of like being flirty, and from that moment, it just suddenly they just start fighting, and I'm gonna tell you, I checked out. Okay, they start fighting. They start like, oh, Liz.
Yeah, she's like, I want you to choose me, and like whatever, and he's like, I am Brittany. I'm just having a hard time because I'm living in Florida. I don't want to live here. I chose here to come here for my family. She's like, don't make it seem like you came here for me. Like I wanted you to come here for you. And then and I didn't force you. And he's like, Brittany, but this is where my family went. You took my kids and you took everybody, so I came here because I like you. And so he wouldn't just say the thing that she needed to hear because I don't know, maybe he feels like he's tired of being like in trouble for doing what he did, emotionally cheating on her, or like fucking whatever. And so then she's like kind of drunk. So she's like, man, I don't fucking need this. I'll take my own ride home. And he's like, get in the car, Brittany. And she's like, no, I'll get the producers to drive me. What are you talking about? I've been with this fool for like 3 years. You know how many seasons of the show? They're not going to leave me here. Could you imagine how like cool she is with the producers? Like just they're her fucking friends. She must like smoke with them. She has smoke breaks with them. Listen, I was watching some kind of I don't remember what it was. It was on Instagram somewhere. And they did like behind the scenes of Jamie being filmed in Colombia and her walking down the street, and I was like, "Oh my god. I would be so embarrassed if I were on a reality show. I cannot have a camera just like it would be hard. It would take a long time for me to get used to me just walking down the street and then wanting footage of that. I would have to fully pretend like I was an actor. Like this, we were acting. I wouldn't just be, Oof.
I don't, the certain kind of people that can just pretend or just be is whatever. But all these people have, as we've said, like less than, marketable skills. And this is where they found themselves. So they're doing the best they can and where they found themselves, which is on national television on a hugely popular show.
Yeah. And that's like good for them because it isn't me. I'm here talking about them in my little apartment, like worrying about how I'm going to pay rent next. So like hats off to them. Good for them.
Yeah. Why did I get that theater arts major? So anyway, I will tell you this. So in this, like they win there. Okay. So as the fight goes out into the parking lot and there's there's a market there. There is like this place, and I think it's the same place that Wa said that's so big that they have karaoke in there. And I was just wanting to be like, stop fucking fighting and go in there and like sing a song and then just, you're going to bone night anyway. Like, I feel like everyone wants to give us fake drama, fake fighting, fake couple fighting.
Yeah.
And it's just hard for me because I have limited time and limited bandwidth. And I've had to sit through so many bad acting classes and and some great ones too. But, I've seen a lot of like scene work. Well,
yeah. And you're able to call it out. And meanwhile, I'm just like, what's next?
Oh, look at that alkaline water, just like we are alkaline, honey.
Yeah.
Sometimes acidic, sometimes alkaline. That's how that they kind of end on that note. I realized there was no Justina Michael, and there was no other people either,
and they weren't missed.
Yeah,
they were not missed. Like honestly, 90 Day Fiance is just like riding up ahead of this.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like this episode
Monique and
was
Derek.
yeah.
Sorry, and this episode didn't have any Monique and Derek, and any Justine and Michael. Now
This is the
Monique and
first
Derek is
yeah,
yeah.
this is the first time we haven't had Monique and Derek.
Monique and Derek bring definitely a lot of the drama. And did you see that there's like this thing? I don't know. I think it's they want to try and charge like an Instagram, vlogger or blogger, whatever you call them, bloggers, I guess the word, content creator that does this, whatever we do. I don't know. Whatever, God bless. It's like $8,000 to interview them, Monique and Derek.
I mean, listen, they're trying to make the money while they can. Why? Matt Sharp ain't paying them.
I know, but at the same time,
I saw a video of them on the new Angela Yee show. You know who Angela Yee is?
yes.
Yeah, so she has her own show. She's no longer on the Breakfast Club, and she interviewed them, and I was like,
"It's huge.
That is huge."
That's one though.
That's one person, but it only takes one. Like the fact that they were on that show is like crazy. So yeah, their price has gone up. Today's price is more than yesterday's.
Yeah, I get that. Listen, they won't be on this show. They won't be on this podcast. They'll only probably go on like Joe Rogan's or Call Me Daddies.
What is Call Me? Oh, do I have Call Me Daddies?
It's just it's just one of the more popular ones that has crazy out of or like pop culture guests. I don't necessarily think it's up your alley, or maybe it is. I mean, I actually don't listen to it, but it's okay. So that brings us to the end of this ep. Now let me tell you what an ep it's been, and by that we gave you much more entertaining content, even just the Buffy Vampire Slayer talk, than you would have gotten from the entire episode. So we do what we can, but we can only do so much. We thank you guys so much for listening. If you want more, you can go to our Instagram. It's at DocuSweeties, where I posted Blaine's new haircut if you look it up. And Juan likes to do behind the scenes stuff. So when we're shooting, as if, like I'm going to see myself talking and I hope I look good. That's DocuSweeties on Instagram, DocuSweeties on TikTok, and at DocuSweeties1 on Twitter. Now, also, listen, if you listen to this and it annoyed you that you won't be able to see Wa trying to like pose with her like feetsies on her buttsies, then you have to give us $10. You stick them up.
Yep.
And listen, pay your ransom at
patreon.com/DocuSweeties. It's $10 a month. We do a live every first Monday of the month. And we also give you like other little things. You get the episodes as soon as they come out. And also Patreon. Let me know if you guys want me to put the audio version up, not just the video version up. Just wanted to let you know. You get all that. So join us. Patreon.com is 2 Starbucks cups coffees a month, if that's your thing. And it helps us to continue doing this because we don't get paid. This is all for free. So, until we start to get paid, the ads money starts rolling in. We got one ad so far. Until that starts happening, then like, girl, need your help. So we love you guys and we will talk to you later. Bye.